Hi, and welcome to In the Can. And today I'm going to make Lekvar cookies. And you remember I made homemade Lekvar. So in this bowl I have 5 cups of flour, and to that I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a half a teaspoon of salt, and I don't have a third of a teaspoon, but I'm going to eyeball this, but a third teaspoon of nutmeg. I'm going to stir this around to get the ingredients distributed somewhat. And I'm going to set that aside. Now in this bowl I have a cup of brown sugar and a cup of white sugar. And to that I'm going to add a cup of butter. And now I'm going to cream together the butter and sugar. Okay, now I have that pretty well creamed together, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and 3 eggs, one at a time. second egg. And my third egg. And now this calls for buttermilk. I don't have any. 1, 2 teaspoons of milk. And I'm going to sour the milk with a teaspoon of vinegar. Swish it around to sour it. Okay, and that will give me my buttermilk substitute. So I'm going to add about 1/3 of the flour mixture. And beat that in. About 1/3 of my milk mixture. Oops. I'm going to add about 1/3 more of the flour mixture. Add about 1/3 of the more of the milk mixture in. Whoa. This dough is getting quite heavy. too heavy for my mixer. So clean the batters up, the beaters off, and I'm going to have to hand mix the rest of this dough. Add the remaining flour mixture and the remaining of the milk mixture. Excuse me. And use my wooden spoon to whip it together. I don't know what my camera just did. I think it's warning me that my battery is low. So, oh, when all else fails, get your hands in it and get dirty. Okay, so my battery did fail. So what I have here is my butter sugar mixture and my flour mixture mixed together, and I'm pressing it out because it's kind of stiff. So now I've got this pretty well mixed together. I'm going to sit it in the refrigerator for about a half an hour. And then I'm going to work with it. So we'll be back then. Okay, I'm back. And as you saw in previous footage, my kitchen table is covered with stuff because I don't have enough kitchen cupboard space. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start making the cookies. I got a piece of parchment paper here. I'm going to put some flour on it. Take a little bit of the dough. Grab my rolling pin, lightly flour it, and I'm going to start rolling the dough out. Now I want to roll the dough out until it's about 1/8 of an inch thick. And I use wax paper to roll the dough out on because it helps to eliminate some of the mess. Okay, that looks good. So now I'm going to get a glass. Oh, my glass looks terrible. All covered in water spots. And I'm going to cut little circles out. Of my dough. Using my glass. Put this dough back into the bowl. And I'm going to take, and I'm using a regular teaspoon, I'm going to take a teaspoon of the Lekvar, or roughly a half a teaspoon of the Lekvar, place it on one of the circles, put a circle on top, and pinch the edges together. I'm going to take a knife and put a slit in the top of the cookie and place it on a parchment paper covered baking dish. Pinch it all together. Cut a slit in the dough. And I'll keep doing that until I have my cookies all on the baking dish. I'll be back. Okay, and here's my first batch of Lekvar cookies going in the oven. I preheated the oven at 350 and I'm going to bake them for roughly 10 to 13 minutes. And I'll be back when they're done. Okay, I'm back, and here is my platter of Lekvar cookies. I still have 6 of them in the oven baking. I got 30 cookies total. So let's try one of these babies and see how they are. It's a nice soft cookie dough. Yeah. And the Lekvar tastes great. So I'll leave a link down in the description to my recipe for Lekvar. If you live in an area where you can buy it, you can use store-bought Lekvar. If you don't, you can use my recipe to make your own. And thank you for watching this video. and hopefully you'll give it a like and subscribe. And I'll see you again next time.